Hey guys, if you missed this week's lesson in graphic design, what we talked about was the elements and principles of art. So what I'd like you to do first is go to this link that says, what are the elements and principles? And then I'd like you to go through the following slideshow, kind of goes through a little bit at a time, talks a little bit about the elements and principles, and then it tells you about taking each one of the elements and principles and putting an example in your sketchbook. It's real important that you keep up with that. I will be checking your sketchbooks on occasion, so you don't want to get caught flat-footed without having finished that part of it. The elements and principles are basically the building blocks of art and then the techniques for using those building blocks. So building blocks, for example, line, shape, color, value, form, texture, and space. And then artists use those in different ways. It's like they use the principles of balance, they use contrast, emphasis, movement, pattern, rhythm, and unity. I'd like you to go through that in a little more detail than what I did, obviously, and you may want to look right here on your resources where this says elements and principles. If you click on that, it will give you a card that describes them a little bit better. Okay, so that is the first part of it, is to basically put down those elements and principles into your sketchbook with a little example next to each one. Right, then after you do that, I'd like you to watch this little short video. This is about elements and principles, but basically the ones that I think apply most to graphic design. It's kind of a fun little short video. And then after that, I'd like you to go through this slideshow. You can see we did a lot this week. This slideshow, which talks specifically about the principle of balance. Now, balance is when in a piece of graphic design, piece of a composition, you have this feeling of sturdiness, I guess, security. So for example, this piece here, you can see now it is balanced. Before it was not. This one, if you rearrange things, it gives this feeling of balance. Okay, so I'm going to let you go through the rest of that little video, but basically what we're going to be looking at is the concept of balance. So here is your assignment. You can see the assignments for this project are typically done in class, but if you're not able to be in class for whatever reason, or you miss this and you're having to do it outside of class, basically there are two main projects. One, you're going to take 2 sheets of paper, and this is very simple, but I think it's important. I want you to create a symmetrically balanced composition using only shapes, circles, triangles, squares. We did it with little foam pieces in class, but you can do that you can just draw them if you want. You would cut out little pieces of paper if you wanted to do it that way. 15 to 20 shapes. The goal is for you to figure out how to make a composition that looks balanced according to what you saw in that video, but is not doesn't have any actual content or information in it. I just want you to work on the concept of balance. So that's symmetrical balance, and then I want you to make one that is asymmetrically balanced. Asymmetrical balance is a little more difficult. And like I said, I want you to go through that little slideshow and look at it. But asymmetrical balance is most often, you can think about that as in sort of photographs of nature, or you know, maybe, like maybe narrative, like a story. You could think of a story. You might see a scene in your head from a story, and it might be asymmetrically balanced. Like, for example, if I were to draw something on the board here, so I can make it where you can see. So say you had your picture was like that, right? Say you had a mountain that kind of came and went like that. And then you had a tree, and there was a tree down here, and then up here there's a person and they're standing on the top of the mountain. Okay? That picture has asymmetrical balance because it's not the same on both sides, which is what symmetry is. It's taller here, but it's got a lot of weight here, and it's balanced by like this tree over here. There's some empty space over here, some empty space over here. It goes together and it holds together even though it's not exactly symmetrical. And again, if you watch that video, symmetrical basically means same on both sides. So that's your first assignment, is to take these shapes and to arrange them on a paper in a symmetrical pattern and in an asymmetrical pattern. Then I want you to take this poster that you can find right here. I want you to take this poster. It is 3 pages when it loads. I want you to, thank you. I want you to cut all these pieces apart. You can see it was a poster called, or a play called Haunted. It was a Halloween play. So you're going to cut all these pieces apart, and you're going to put them back together on an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. So that's like a double size sheet of paper in a balanced design. And there are about 16 or 17 different elements that you can cut apart. The tree, the tagline, the title, the theater company, the cast, just different information. And you need to decide what's most important, what's least important, and then cut it all to pieces and then glue it or tape it all back down in a balanced composition. All right, so those are the 2 assignments we worked on this week. If you have any problems with them, let me know. Otherwise, that's your assignment. Okay, thanks.